there's the top 10 or 20 or whatever factors people talk about. We've identified 127 different factors that we know make you go up and down on search engines.
Right. So it's not 4 or 5.
No.
Nail these 4 or 5. And one of the things that you've said to me multiple times, and you've had in customer conversations, is, hey, if everybody's using the same approach, like if everybody's training for the race in the exact same way, it's going to be very competitive.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
The other challenge is so much of what we've learned is being able to go from industry to industry to industry. We've worked in over 200 standard industrial classification codes.
Right, SIC codes.
SIC codes,
Right.
Yep. And so with that being said, we're able to see commonalities and comparisons within these different regions, or within these different industries.
What is the key of having a broader perspective?
I mean, the broader perspective allows you to understand what search engines are looking for. So for example, if you look at the definition of unique content, that's kind of an odd one to think of. Like, how do you define unique when it comes to content?
Right.
Well,
I have no idea.
Utilizing our, neither do I. That's what's cool about it. At the end of the day, there's no way a human being can do all of this. And so what we've done is develop systems to measure and understand how unique content needs to be. And it's not one answer. That answer varies by industry. So for example, in financial services, your content doesn't have to be quite as unique because a lot of what you say is regulated. And so you don't have the opportunity to be as unique. And so
that's acceptable.
That is
Like,
acceptable in that industry.
Okay.
So the definition of unique content depends on the industry you're in, the challenges and regulations that you face, and how descriptive you can even be about your product. How many different ways can you describe a nail?
Does that mean that they may be favoring the performance of that website differently based on the industry?
It's exactly what it means.
Oh, so it's not a big broad brush that it's like, here's the rules, we're sort of ranking everyone the same.
So you don't just have a domain authority score across the board. It's a domain authority score based on what the consumer did a search for.
Right. And in different industries, they're searching different ways for different things. They're using different language, whether they're searching for people searching for cars versus people searching for flooring or windows. They're probably searching slightly differently. So a blanket approach.
Correct. And this is the reason the traditional tools no longer work, is because they're just taking a one-directional approach and giving a system a score. They're not giving it a score based on the industry of the consumer's query. The consumer's query is the number one thing that search engines are looking for to then determine how the algorithm behaves.
Right. So a generic approach.